Well, I have Putin the cat here, and he's got some advice for the bullion guys that want to save some bullion up, and women, males and females. And he wants to set the record straight about those fiat pumpers. And, of course, we use fiat money as the medium of exchange, right, buddy? Right? Yeah, he agrees with that. And we don't use bullion as the medium of exchange in the United States. And we also observed in the last couple of years, bullion went down significantly, right? Silver, gold, copper, you name it, right? A lot of stuff went down. I guess the big exception was palladium, but still it dropped from its high of about 870. Now it's like in the low 700s, right? But I have to say this. I've never, ever advised putting 100% of your money into bullion. Never. I think it's going to do well, but it's going to take us by surprise. And the point is, a couple other things are indicating that we're probably going to be hitting that crazy hyperinflation type period, maybe not like the Weimar Republic or Zimbabwe or Hungary after World War II, but we're going to hit it. Actually, I've been saying this, with Janet Yellen coming on at the helm, and maybe a stock market correction. And the big fiasco that was going to happen in October got avoided at the last minute, but it didn't really get avoided. It just got postponed a few months. It's probably the same thing I was thinking that may happen in October, like the 18th to the 21st. It might happen just a few more months down the road. They avoided everything at the last minute, right? Now, just to keep things in, a happy medium with the bullion. First off, I've never said to go 100% into bullion. Second off, I've always said that not everything on a piece of paper is going to go to zero. God, I definitely was never in that camp, ever. I said maybe government bonds or government paper might go to zero, but then there's paper that represents other productive industries. It's a representation. It's not the actual industry. It could be somebody, producing some product that people need. That doesn't mean that the paper is the product. It's the representation of it. That's how we exchange goods and services, paper and electrons, right? Stock values are paper. Maybe there's there used to be the paper certificate. Now it's electronic. But the damn thing is, I never said that's going to zero. That's crazy. But I want to put this in, say you got silver at near the high, $44 an ounce. Now, it was a little higher than that for maybe like a real short window, like around the end of April of 2011, a very short window. It actually got up maybe a little over 40 in the summer of 2011, and maybe the bullion was 44. Well, right now, you lost half your money if you sold it now, but I never said to go 100% into anything. That's the big difference. Because this is not, you never go 100%, especially in what I call high-risk assets. And I always called commodities high-risk assets, but there also can be high-reward. Always said this. I was getting slammed for it back then when I was saying this because it was going up, because, oh no, it's going to go to 100. And now it's like I am the fiat, I'm the bad advice guy, because it went down. Like I said, it never is something that you're going to put 100% of your money into. I was never in the camp where you have to put every single cent of your money into metals, because all paper's going to zero. That's BS. All paper's not going to zero. There might be some areas that'll go to zero that are paper, maybe government-backed paper. And even in the United States, I can't see that going to zero. In government-backed paper, it could get greatly diminished, but it's not going to go to zero even in the United States. We got too much going for us, despite when you're looking at all the problems, because we live here, You notice more stuff going on when you live here. Now, I want to point something else out about bullion. Do not buy, well, it's my advice on this, don't buy those copper bullion things. Those things are a ripoff. If you want to buy copper, buy nickels. Roll them up like this. Nickels. Nickels are 75% copper and 25% nickel. Now, back a couple years ago, the actual metal content of the nickel was about 10 or 11% higher than what was actually in it, and not including the actual cost to produce the nickel. The nickel actually costs, I think, over $10 a nickel to make, or I don't know what the hell it is. It's some crazy amount of money to make these nickels. I forgot what it is. It's, I think maybe that's per roll or something. But it costs them a lot more to make the nickels than even what the face value of the nickel is, even as of now. But the face value was actually lower than the metal content not that long ago. Now it's about the metal content of the nickel, 75% copper, 25% nickel, is about 10% lower. So say we went into hyperinflation. These can function as money too. Why not? Why not? Even the new penny, the old penny, I forgot when it was. I think it was like before 2000, whatever it was. It's worth maybe 2.5 up to 3 times, depends on what the copper price is. Even the new penny is worth about 51%. The metal content, which is 97.5% zinc, it's 51% of the face value of the penny. If you don't want to stack, well, it's up to you. I don't care what people do. I mean, it's up to you. But, when you're stacking bullion, you ought to be thinking of it almost like stacking change. It's little extra bits of money that you probably would blow on some garbage anyway, and you put it aside. So even if you made the mistake of buying bullion at silver an ounce, $44, you're down about half now. But it's not something that you would sell right away anyway. It's for that time when the inflation rate in the United States goes high. Right now, the inflation rate in the United States is extremely low. It's very low. Even though the government kind of fudges the numbers, it's still pretty damn low. That just may be the calm before the storm. It may be. Because of Alan Greenspan's talking about possibly having much higher inflation in the future. He's kind of hinting at distancing himself from the policies of the Fed, like, hey, it wasn't my fault. I didn't do that on my reign, even though he did, and it caused him a bubble in the real estate market. But when he's saying these types of hints, it's almost like he's kind of warning people, and he's trying to distance himself from what's going to happen. So the calamities that may have happened in October that got avoided at the last minute may happen in the early 2014 because they just postponed things a little bit. They didn't fix them. And then we're going to have Janet Yellen at the helm. And the same thing may happen with stock market going way below 10,000 or something like that. But, that doesn't mean a bullion's going down. That doesn't mean that. Not like gold. So, but, most people just can't buy gold because to buy an ounce, it's a significant amount of money for most people. And I personally, I think that's one thing that they can make illegal more than anything else. They can't make industrial metals illegal to own because you use them in everything. It's common sense. That's the one reason I really don't like gold too much. But, say for instance, you just don't even want to buy silver anymore. Wrap up your change, wrap up your dimes, even wrap up your dimes in quarters and half dollars. They're worth about 18% of the metal content in them is actually what is on the what is actually the actual metal content of the face value of a quarter is about 18% of the 25% of 25 cents right now. That wouldn't even be a bad idea because say for instance we went into really crazy hyperinflation, having those metal coins is probably going to save you just as good as silver. And the other thing is it's bona fide legal tender in the United States. That's the other side of it too, And, a lot of people just aren't doing this. Now, I don't really want to encourage, I don't have a large channel where it's going to cause millions of people to go buy and save nickels and pennies and roll them up. But I've been doing that. I just roll them up. I really don't use cash too much. I use the charge card, but anytime I use cash, I wind up with change, and I keep rolling this stuff up, but I keep accumulating them. I know that, to me, that's almost how I think of bullion, too. The same way. You know, it's really for that time when, you know, they may lose control of the U.S. dollar and it may really get severely depreciated really bad through inflation. And that's just how you ought to think of it. But don't think that everything on a piece of paper is going to go away. You know, that you have to put every single last bit of your money into silver and gold. I never said that ever. I never said that ever. But that's probably how you should think about saving silver. Almost like you'd save change. Think of it the same way. You know? You know, maybe you shouldn't put all your money in that. You know, it should be like money that you'd probably blow on going to, you know, restaurants and going out here and there and other trips and stuff. Try to save a little bit of money that way and put some of it in silver. And, you know, even like I said, even with copper bullion, I think that's an extreme ripoff. The way to do it is just roll up these nickels. I got loads of these damn things. The problem is they take up a lot of room. They weigh a lot. But the other side of it is it's bona fide U.S. currency, too. So, say for instance, you know, if we go into some kind of crazy hyperinflation sometime and we got, you know, prices go up 10 times, these nickels will still hold up. They'll hold up. And that's where your silver's going to hold up, too. So, I mean, it's not something you put all your money into. Never said it. I never said it. But that's how you ought to think of bullion, investing in bullion. Because, you know, even the worst case scenario, you're down half. But that's not all your money. Because unless you listen to some other people, I wasn't saying to go buy. I never bought any silver over 30. Never. The highest I bought silver spot value. It was, I think, the highest I ever paid for silver, a finished coin, was those Canadian Wildlife series at 33, and I didn't even buy that many of them. So it didn't come from me about buying silver like at 44, 45 and stuff. I never said that. But I wouldn't be afraid to buy it now. But, it's like when you got enough of it, don't keep buying it, But I always keep wrapping up these damn things because they're a pain in the ass to spend. And I said, what the hell? Someday, these stupid roll of nickels, 10, 20 years from now might be worth like a hell of a lot more money than they are right now, There's a lot of things that people like that just don't think of. And, since I have a small channel, I'm not really influencing the market because I really wouldn't want too many people buying these because they take them off the market, If I was influencing millions of people to hoard nickels or something like that, they would come out with some new nickels and I wouldn't be able to get these kind anymore. But I think these nickels are a pretty smart way to invest in bullion for copper. It's 75% copper. And I want to point something else out, common sense about copper. If you go get just plain old wire, at the hardware store, you have wire someplace, that stuff is like 99.99 or 99, I think it's like 3 or 4 nines pure copper. Believe it or not. So I don't know why these bullion dealers that, sell you copper, coins, man, those things are, I can't see those things being worth a lot of money later on. I mean, they're just way overpriced. They're way overpriced. Anytime you get any kind of metal, you want to get it as close to spot as possible, And that goes with silver, bullion too. And I stick with the common stuff. You don't have to get American Eagles. I think Canadian Maple Leafs are great, and Australian Philharmonicas are great too. And also like those Indian heads, the buffalo with the Indian head, the Walking Liberty. Those are nice coins. People know what the hell they are, and get them near spot. And I got some of those wildlife series and stuff. But it's not something I really think about, what's it going up to? What's it going down to? I don't think of it that way. You don't put 100% of your money into that stuff. That's crazy. And the people that were always telling you to put your 100% of your money into that because the sky's falling, I never said that. Not in a million years. So I also realized putting your money into food, firepower, and fuel is very important too. You got to have food, you got to have energy, and you got to have something to protect yourself too. That's even more important than silver. In a real dire situation. So, but to the fiat pumpers, you guys are idiots. It's going to collapse, dude. It's going to collapse. And, if you don't want to invest in silver, fine. But I could see that, when the time comes when it collapses and, there is a collapse, and I'm not talking about like this, Mad Max type collapse, but, there's a great devaluation in the American dollar, not where it goes to oblivion, but there's a great devaluation. These type of people that told you to invest only in dollars and avoid silver, they're probably going to be dangerous. They're probably going to be dangerous and very spiteful and evil, despite their proclamations of being nice and Christian. They may not be. They may not be. I don't think they will be at all. So let me just put it to you this way, just keep saving some of your money in some of the silver bullion or whatever. And if you don't want to do silver bullion, I haven't been buying silver bullion. I bought some when it was 18, when it dropped down to 18. And I keep rolling up all these damn things, the nickels especially. But the pennies, the quarters, and everything else. Because, say, for instance, it did go to hyperinflation. This type of metal would still be worth, would still hold value very well, especially the nickels. Far better than copper bullion. Far, far better than copper bullion that they sell for some crazy exorbitant prices, way over the spot price of copper. That stuff is so ridiculous. I can't see why people are buying that, but whatever. They could do that, whatever they want. I don't see, any. I also don't like the idea of buying silver that's way over spot too. I don't like the idea of doing that. Now, in the case of gold, buying numismatic gold where it's an old collector coin in a slab and it's been graded, that might be okay, because that might be the only kind of gold that is not the type that's going to be confiscated if they have confiscation in the future. That may be smart. But you might want to have it in gold as jewelry too. And I've done that too. So that's, but you can't throw everything in one area. Because I've always said that silver is a high volatile, high risk asset. And that's even why a lot of wealthy people avoid it like the plague. They do. Now, I think Eric Sprott, he says he's 80% invested in precious metals. I think he's going to do extremely well. And so is Mark Faber. And I think a lot of people that are heavily invested in their metals with the eye of keeping them a while till later on when the price really goes up, they all are going to do extremely well. But that doesn't mean you go 100%. So, and you have to realize that if you do well, somebody else is going to be biting on the other end that's not going to do well. So, I think when silver prices go up to the stratosphere, I am going to be doing much, much, much less silver updates, because I'll be telling the people the truth that it's getting dangerous. And, I'd rather sell it. I'd rather sell some of it back at that time and go into something else. What actually may be, I don't want to say what something else may be. You might be surprised, but there'll be something else that'll crash that'll be good to go into, and that's what I will do. But I'm going to continue very much on health videos and practical how-to videos for the regular old blue collar worker middle class on how to do stuff cheap and survive any kind of problem that may come up, but especially also the health videos. So just want to keep you abreast of the situation with the bullion. Don't be afraid to buy some of it. Don't be, go ahead, do what you want, but you don't put 100% into anything. That's the whole point. You don't put 100% into anything. And if you're really afraid of buying silver, you ought to be rolling up the change, man. I do that. I've been doing that. So it accumulates, man. I got a mountain of this stuff, so that's what you got to do.